Hello, it is Caroline Kaler, and I am going to show you how to put together and then use the Stoplight Board for behavior management. So this is the Stoplight Board to start with. It prints off with two, and I went ahead and cut out a different copy, obviously, of just the one board because I am going to be starting with just using one. So I'm going to use it, and I'm also going to use green paper to back it. This time it's not the student's favorite or least favorite color. I picked green to kind of stimulate the stop and go format of this guy. So I'm going to line him up with some edge left here on the corners just to make a nice little paper perimeter like that. And I'm just going to put some dots, just 4 dots on each corner here, and flip it back over and push it down so that I get him stuck on here. Once I get him done all the way, I am going to pause and run everything through the laminator to make sure that I get this guy ready for classroom use. All right, well, this guy has been run through the laminator, and then I trimmed the edges, so he is ready to go. I need to go ahead and add my Velcro dots. I always add the hard Velcro dots to an item that is stationary, so technically this actual board isn't something that the child's manipulating or that you're manipulating. You're going to be manipulating the circles that go with it. So I say that the hard Velcro stays and soft Velcro travels. So this Velcro is going to be the soft traveling Velcro. And I'm not actually going to put them directly on the circles yet because I find that I don't get them lined up well if I do it that way. So I usually just stick them to the Velcro that's the hard first, upside down of course, so that the Velcros are connected but the sticky side's up. And then I add my moving visual to it, and like I said, I just have a lot more success making sure that I get that little dot where I want to if I do that easy little trick. Okay, so the board is never going to look like this besides the first time that you put it together. And you can tell I have more choices than what I went with on this one, but I went with the words because the student I'm working on is a super reader and very, very visual when it comes to language. So that's why I picked the words, but you can pick whatever works for your student, of course. So, but again, the board's never really going to look like this because the 3 lights aren't going to be lit up at the same time. So I recommend keeping these somewhere where the student can't see them, and they're little enough that they can fit in your pocket. You can see how big they are in my hand. So you can put them in your pocket if you'd like, so they're out of the way. But regardless, you just don't want the student to see them all the time. But I'm gonna leave them out just so you can see them. The board's gonna start like this whenever you're using it, and you put it down on the desk and leave it like that, reminding them to follow directions. If they forget, this is your first prompt, and it's just a visual touch or tap, and reminding them that, hey, you've got another chance after this one, but right now you're following the directions. If they need to use another warning or opportunity after that, this needs to be removed, and again, either placed out of sight or into your pocket, and then the yellow one comes into play, and you're saying that it's time to focus. This is your last chance. You were started off with the board, you've had the tap reminder, and I need you to be on task this time. Again, if they don't follow that warning, then this one is then removed, and you're adding the stop to the top, and or again, whichever red one you choose. And no more chances your consequences will occur. The consequence menu and reward menu are super important for this to work. And the student that I'm working with, we've actually already picked out the reward menu. The child, like I said, absolutely loves to read. Like every kid nowadays, loves the iPad, very much enjoys listening to music, and just likes some time to chill and relax. Consequence menu, we have problem solving sheets that we do, no technology time. They could lose their reward time, or they could go to the principal's office, which they very much do not like to do. So if the red occurs, then the consequences will be reinforced. If the yellow or the green are active whenever you have determined stop time, then the reward menu will be chosen from immediately. And again, you know, the 2 or less reminders will get you 1 reward, and they can pick whichever reward they want as soon as possible to reinforce that positive behavior. When you are on your end of it, you will be using the rubric. And if you like, of course, you can use some of the sample goals that I've included. For this one, we're going to pretend that I'm the student. So Caroline Kaler is the student that we are watching, and it is February 1st of this year, let's say. And you were watching me at read aloud time, and it happened to be at 10:15 in the morning. Now, looking at the behavior goals over here, I might want to say that Caroline's going to raise her hand and wait to be called on. It's really tricky for her because of all of the talking that she likes to do. So I'm going to add that on here. We'll raise hand and wait to be called on before talking aloud. And you can add the 4 to 5 if you'd like, and 4 out of 5 opportunities. All right, and then if you were using the Stoplight Board for me and you had given me a one more last chance, then the prompts were actually 2. And maybe the incentives that I were working on, I had said, hey, this time I definitely want to do the library. You'd record library there. And the consequence, you can list all of these or the one that you know you're going to go to that time. So maybe that time I was going to lose reward time, and it was super important to me that day. I did meet my goal because I didn't make it to red. And so I should have gotten my library reading book time, and I did not get my consequences. And you might want to say that although Caroline was talking out 2 times, she was talking about the activity at hand. So that would be a good note. That's always a positive that you can tell the parents also. So this is what you will use, and then you'll use another one the next day to make sure that you're documenting the success or lack thereof that your student is having meeting their behavior goal. If you happen to need these circles with different words, possibly words that you use every day in the classroom, and you're like, oh boy, I sure wish that was edited a different way, feel free to shoot me, ask the seller a question, and I'm happy to edit them and add something else. I'm sure they'd be helpful for other people also. Good luck. If you have questions, contact me, and thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Visit my TPT store by typing in Caroline Kaler in the search bar. Remember, those who teach change the world. Lots of love, Caroline.